Oh, there I am. Ho! I'm back. I'm back. Ah. You are now tuned into the Promise Key. I am your host, Kushite Selassie, soon to be known as Malcolm Yahuda Kushite Selassie. As soon as I get everything settled, South Carolina's kind of the state of Dillon is kind of being kind of weird about me wanting to change my name, so they want to make sure I'm not. They say the reason it's taking so long is because apparently the process is a hell of a lot. I thought it was gonna be an in and out process type shit, or something that goes over a couple of days. But actually, they got to do all this. They got to do some bullshit. I mean, at least I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Hopefully, maybe if I ask Farrah, he'll be able to break it down to me further. But I thought it was gonna be like a simple process or something like that. I have to write a, I have to write a I have to I have to give them a reason why I want my name changed. And so that and they're gonna do, I'm pretty sure they're gonna do some kind of background check to make sure that I'm not changing my name for criminal reasons or I'm trying to escape the law or some bullshit like that. Shit. But that's not why y'all are here. Y'all are here today for one reason and one reason only: to pay homage to your beetle god. No, 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 no. That's not it. That's not it. No, no, no. But yes, we're here today for the new Bob Marley movie. For the new Bob Marley movie that just not too long ago, that's just not too long ago opened in theater. I think it was like February 14th. I just recently watched the movie a couple of days ago. And honestly, I've heard so many people have so many different problems about this movie. They didn't have they didn't have one of Bob's grandkids play the role, or they didn't no one, or they didn't use enough Jamaicans in the movie, or in shit like that. I and from a retro for for the most part, I get their grievances. I mean, if Spike Lee would have did the Malcolm X movie and had a Jamaican play an African American, and he sit here trying to fake an African American accent, yeah, I feel some type of way too. I feel very some type of way. Like, damn, you couldn't find one American to play him. I mean, damn, what Denzel? I mean, sure, you sure Denzel won't busy? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I can't comprehend how they feel. But honestly, I didn't watch too many reviews on the Bob Marley movie. I didn't want anything to plagiarize, not plagiarize. I didn't want anything to taint my opinion in any way. I didn't want to go into the movie with already, looking for this or looking for that and whatnot. So far, the only thing when I came into the movie, only thing that that kind of may have tainted my feeling was the fact that it seemed like there was all right, back up. There was a clip, one of the few clips that they did air on YouTube where you can go watch and shit. You know how you do like movie clips and shit. You see like parts of the movie nowadays. You can basically watch clip. You can see if you put the clips together. Shit, you'll be able to watch the whole damn movie in retrospect on YouTube. But Congo mentioned that the movie seemed a little like too catered to Rita, and from what previews I seen, because the only preview we got was when they was recording the song jamming, and the argument between Rita and Bob while they was in Paris. And really the way that and what I kept hearing, even though I was trying my best not to listen to it, but you can't hear it when you go through shorts. I roll the blunt. Y'all want to know why I keep looking down and shit. Roll the blunt. And that way with the preview, and the fact that you only saw like one you only seen like one you only saw like one scene where you saw Miss Cindy, and really you didn't even hear her talk. It was just some white girl in the background. If you weren't paying attention, if you didn't know, like if you didn't know, you wouldn't even guess. It just would have been somebody Bob was with, or just some random girl he probably sleeping with at the time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would have thought that was Damon Mama unless they knew. You know what I'm saying? At least they knew, Bob Marley's history, like most people who go into the documentary. But I understood from the beginning that nobody, no matter what generation of Bob you had, you're from, whether you were alive when Bob was alive, whether you were part of that One Love generation where Bob was just that unified, was just that ultimate unifier of the world and shit like that. And and if you're like me, you were born in the '90s. So the Bob we got was Mystic Bob, and that was all based off the documentary, whatever documentary we watched at the time. Every one of everybody grew up with everybody who knows Bob everybody grew up with a different Bob Marley documentary. Hold on, y'all, my phone's ringing. Sorry about that, y'all. I just had to see my mom. I had to see what my mom was about. I thought it was my mom, but it was someone else on Messenger. The only people who call me on Messenger is my mom or randoms. So I usually just jump on it. But anyway, every generation that had Bob had a Bob Marley documentary that was catered to that generation. You see what I'm saying? The very first Bob Marley documentary I've ever watched was more about making Bob that peace that was making Bob out to be the peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. I didn't get militant Bob until later on in life till we start, because as far as we were concerned, Peter was the militant. But for people who grew up around Bob, they knew Bob's militant side. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the later generation who got the One Love Bob. That was the peace Bob. That was, come together, make everything better, feel all right. Everything gets better, everything can feel all right. That's the Bob that most of the world knows. But then if you're like me, you got Mystic Bob. The first Bob Marley documentary I've ever watched was more about making Bob to be a mystic. Let me backstep. I misspoke. When the first Bob Marley movie documentary that was ever put out seemed to be more militant, more for the people of that generation. Those who Bob at from a militant standpoint. We in the '90s got Mystic Bob. Because we didn't have when I came in the Rastafari, when it was more, it was more of a thing to say that it was more. It was kind of iffy when someone told me Garvey was a prophet. I was like, how was he a prophet? Then you do your research and you saw his opinion as he lined it up. You was like, damn, he did kind of call it. Damn, he kind of called it. But when I was told Bob was a prophet, I didn't question it. It was no questions, hands down. I just automatically accepted it. If y'all know what I'm saying, I automatically just accepted that Bob was a prophet. The Bob Marley I was introduced to was Mystic Bob. You know what I'm saying? We got it was Mystic, Rastaman chant, Rastaman chant was one of my favorite Bob Marley songs. Was my favorite Bob Marley song for a long time, even over Redemption, song. My favorite Bob Marley song of all time is Buffalo Soldier. It was the first one I ever listened to. So I knew nobody was going to get nobody. Most likely, nobody was going to see their Bob on screen. So I came in pretty much knowing that I probably won't see the Bob Marley I had in mind. You know what I'm saying? So around this dude, I mean, he going around just giving all these ultimate quotes and stuff like that, and everything he says is hashtagable. Mystic. Like a spiritual, like a spiritual guru type shit. That's how I saw Bob at first. To the point, yeah, it was to see him as a prophet was not a problem. The only problem I had going into the movie when I said my personal grievances, like what bad thing I was looking for, was I wasn't worried about how they would handle Bob. I was more worried about handle Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Fire. I don't know if y'all just saw my cat's in the background. His name's Fire. I have a cat. Take me through the road with this blunt. But yeah, I knew nobody was gonna see. I really had in my mind nobody was gonna see Bob. Was gonna see their Bob. I just wanted to know how was they going to handle Rastafari in this movie. And from all retrospect, when it's all said and done, I watched the whole movie. I like it. I like the movie. It's not my favorite movie of all time, but I like the movie for what it is. Because a lot of people, when they got into this, they wanted another Bob Marley documentary. They wanted a movie documentary of Bob. Like especially us over here in America. We had every black person that we held in regards. We did that. We had a full length movie of them, and we wanted to see all of it. Biggie, Tupac. The Tupac movie wasn't even that good, but damn though, we all everybody know it from start to finish. Hell, Notorious was banging for Notorious was banging for the last was banging for months at a time when it came out. Shit. Never mind the fact that shit. I didn't know who Spike Lee was until I saw Denzel play Malcolm X. I didn't know who Spike Lee was. The movie made me want to know who the fuck the director was. That's how good it was. We can't put everything on that pedestal of our movies that we hold in nostalgia. And everybody wanted it to be another movie documentary, but that's not what it was. This was a this was a romanticized telling of a pivotal point in Bob Marley's life, with him being shot, him going into exile, coming back for the peace concert, um, dealing with Don Taylor and the fuckery how he was robbing the African vineyards. It was a whole lot of shit. Then on top of that, he got cancer. That was a whole lot of shit thrown on him at once. And not like it all happened at once, but it was like right after each other. So you might as well say it all happened at once, because it happened like back to back to back to back. So for what the movie is, I love it. I like the movie. I like it. I love it. I like it. Love it. Love like it. I like it. Love it. I ain't got no problem with the movie. I would watch the movie again. Hell, I want to watch the movie again. I honestly have with the Bob Marley movie. And the way they handled Rastafari is actually okay. Matter of fact, no, let me take that back. I was dumbfounded how they actually did it. Like, for those who've seen the movie, spoilers alert. at the end, near the end of the movie, all throughout the movie, they had scenes of little Bob running through this burning field, right? And this guy on a horse chasing him, running through the fire and chasing after him. Now, throughout the whole movie, I thought that was his father. Spoiler alerts. I thought that was his dad the entire time. And he was just running, and he was running from his dad or running from the white side. It was some kind of spirit. Some kind of trauma he had against. It was supposed to symbolize some kind of trauma he had with his father. But then when the dude on the horse got in front of Baby Bob and handed him the ring that he didn't want to wear because he didn't feel like he was worthy of wearing it at the time, gave him the said ring, and then the camera looked up and it was Selassie, dude. That was it for me. Real shit. That shit. I felt like Moochie. That shit almost brought me to take that out of me. Cause it was like, damn. He grew up without a father, grew up without a father his whole damn life. Never knew his father, but when he accepted Rastafari, he found his father in Selassie. He found his father. He found Abba Father in Selassie. Like a lot of us did. Don't get me wrong. I didn't use Selassie as a way to replace a male role model in my life, because it's not like I didn't have one. I've had several male role models in my life, but I understand Bob making Selassie his being one who didn't grow up with a father. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, one who didn't have the title. I had a father. All right, Eugene Williams was my father. He raised me like he raised me. All right, so it's not like I didn't have a father, but I didn't have one in title until I woke up and until I got older and actually gave him the flowers he should have been got. You know what I'm saying? So I understood that, and that shit moved me. That shit moved the fuck out of me. And you know something? What else is dope? It made me feel good that I knew who all the characters was off the bat. Most people wouldn't know. If you come in that movie, like you're not in the Rastafari, you're not in the Black Power, you don't know all you know is the documentary. You're not gonna automatically point out that the dude that the Rasta the elder Rasta with the long locks, the elder. Nobody. How many people actually knew right off the rip that was knew right off the rip that was like, look what I got playing Mark McPlanner, dude. I am not upset with the character design. I automatically knew who he was. That means the job was done for that character. Everything that was supposed to go into that character was done right. He didn't have too many big movies. He didn't have too many big scenes. He didn't have too many scenes. You ain't seen him all throughout the movie. But the few times you saw him as a roster, that made me feel good, because I was like, damn. I felt like, matter of fact, Muta said it better. Seeing Rasta on the screen was just nice. Seeing Rastafari portrayed on the screen was on the big screen was just something else. It was done right. Not just a bunch of us, not just some dude, not just some smiley ass Jamaican sitting there just Jaman Rasta. Or some black or fake lock with fake locks on his head talking some Jaman Rasta. Biggie smile and shit. Eddie Griffin, Eddie Griffin did that shit in Undercover Brother. I found it funny at first. After a while, I wanted to feel some type of way about it, but hell, you can't laugh about it for years, then wanna like find something wrong with it now. When it was like a year ago, you were laughing at the shit. You know what I mean? So, and at the time, it was funny. The joke was set up to be funny, so I can't hold that against it. Eddie Griffin is just funny as fuck. That's comic gold. But I'm not here to talk about Eddie Griffin. I'm here to talk about the Bob Marley movie. This was not This was not Rita's movie. This was not Rita's movie. I honestly thought when I saw that preview, when that big fight between her and Bob, when that argument between her and Bob, watching the scene by itself made the argument seem bigger than it was. It was more of a reality check. That whole conversation was supposed to be a reality check for Bob. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I already spoke out on. That's the first time I heard about Rita having another lover. Yes, she had children by another man. Yes, we all know that. But the fact that he pointed that out kind of makes it seem like in the movie, to me, the way it was portrayed in that scene, the way he delivered it, the way he said, "You're mine in Jamaica," makes it seem like, okay, boom. So they were seeing each other while her and Bob was still together. And not like Bob can be too mad. I was like her. What the fuck you at? What the fuck you so jealous about, nigga? You got her taking care of your kid, taking care of kids from other women, and she's taking care of these motherfuckers every time they come around. Damn, boy. I grew up around the baby daddy era. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's been something that's been plaguing us for a hot minute in America. Well, black people in general, when it comes down to wherever the white man done dropped our asses off and fucked us up, and then we keep perpetuating the same fucking. You ain't even gotta keep doing it. But how many women you know would put up with that shit? None of them. Rita put up with that shit in spades. Rita put up with that bullshit in spades, man. And you telling me that's the only time in the movie she gonna flip? You telling me that's the most she did in her flipping? But just be like, hey, newsflash, nigga, I've been here since day one. But it was, but because of that scene, it made it seem like this was gonna be more of just about establishing Rita as the queen. Which if they would have went that route, it would have been bad because who was putting Cindy over Rita? Nobody. Who put Cindy over Rita? The only reason people thought that shit was gonna happen was because all these other documentaries and shit, we all been conditioned to see us act to see grown people act the fucking fool. And in a situation like this, we're used to seeing motherfuckers act the fool. Nah, they handled that shit just fucking fine. The way they handled it was right for the children. They did what they did for the children. And we can argue that love played a role in that too. I'm pretty her and Bob do love each other. I have no argument against that. But damn though, you know how much of a strength you have to be to have a woman who's really willing to be okay with you running around with all these other women, having babies and stuff like that with all the women. Then she's just there to pick up the pieces and she can get everything together while still playing in the band and shit. I can understand her frustration. I do. But no, this was not to make this movie about Rita would have been an upset. Would have been a mistake. Rita could have had her own movie. If they would have did something like that, I really would have been on here bitching because they could have just gave Rita a whole damn. They could have just called it Rita. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. This, like I said, the movie won't just about. Even though Bob was in the title, the movie won't just about Bob. The movie was about him and the band and Rita. Him and the band and Rita. Now, the next time we see a movie, it should be called Whalers. because it just shouldn't be centered around Bob. And that movie shouldn't just be centered around Bob. It should be centered around all the Whalers, past and present. From the Wailing Whalers to Bob Marley and the Whalers. See what I'm saying? But like I said, once again, I've had no problem with the movie. The movie was actually good to me. On the real, the movie was good to me. I would recommend it. I would recommend the movie. I recommend it to everybody. And if you're a Rasta, I automatically recommend the movie. Not because it's a Bob Marley movie, but because of the way they portrayed Rastafari in this movie. The way they portrayed Rastafari in this movie was off the chain. See what I'm saying? I have no problem with how they portrayed Rastafari in the movie. The movie could have been bad. They could have the Bob Marley's character, the actor could have been horrible. Everything could have been wrong. But if they would have treated Rastafari right, it would have been okay for me. Because I don't really care. Because it ain't the celebrity. I'm not a celebrity chaser. I was more worried about the fact that if Bob is attached to this. That means Rasta is attached to this. And if I would have watched this movie at 18, this probably would have been my first. This probably would have been the movie that that introduced me to Martin Planner. You see Muta in the background, and you see Muta in the background opening the gate when Bob comes back. I didn't even know he was in the movie, but he's Muta. He pops up out. He like Samuel Jackson when it comes down to movies in the Caribbean. He just pops up out of anywhere. He just pop it. He just be there. And it's always nice to see Muta. I Someone comment this. I don't know if they actually had Martin McFlynn's relatives play him, or what, or whether just another, or did they just get another roster to play him? Either way, I have no problem with it. But you know what would have been dope? What if they would have had Muta play Martin McFly? I mean, I don't. Then again, he's not. I don't think Muta had the body type to play him. He wouldn't have had the. Muta doesn't have the body type to play him. Plus, I think Muta would have been too old at that time. I think. But then again, no, 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 no. Look how long the Martin Locks was during that time. Um, when I mean, whenever I see like documentaries of Martin McFly during the time was supposed to be like during the time when he met Bob and stuff, his locks are like shoulder length. You know what I'm saying? But in the movie, they had him like long on his back and stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was just because the character. I'm pretty sure it's just because the person has locks, and I'm pretty sure they can't just. And since they used the roster, they couldn't get somebody with lock with the exact time. But everybody knew that was Mark. But everybody who knew it was Mark McFly. So once again, I'm not complaining. But it would have been nice if Muta would have played. If I was that, it would have been nice to see Muta play more in the role in the movie. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to hear Muta talk in the movie. But then again, I'm just the biggest fan of Muta Baru. The only person I trip over that much is about the only person I'll probably ever trip over that much when it comes to Muta is probably Pharaoh. Pharaoh just ever since I started listening to Pharaoh, he kind of skyrocketed. He up there with me. When it comes down to like Rastafari elders, I got three elders I look up to. I got three elders I look up to. Muta Baruka, Pharaoh Ramses Elaton, and and because he played such a big role in my development, because I fuck with Lion of Judah Society hard. So Rabbi Yadin, those are the three Rastafari elders I look throughout my journey. Those were the ones I looked up to. That weren't artists. You know what I'm saying? This is a real good weed, y'all. Real shit. This is very good weed. Got me in the right enough mood to talk to y'all. The movie was good. It was good. I didn't have a problem with the movie, and I recommend more people go see it, especially rosters. All rosters need to go see the movie, not because it's a Bob Marley movie. I mean, all rosters want to go see a Bob Marley movie. Bro, why I got y'all here? Who been watching Vines connected to the Bob, centered around the Bob Marley movie, and saw that one roster walking to the movie theater with his blunt. They like, sir, you can't come in here with what? A Bob Marley movie this. Ooh, a Bob Marley movie this. Move. A Bob Marley movie this. That nigga was serious. That motherfucker went right into the movie theater with his shit. He ain't give a fuck. I wonder if they kicked him out. Let's say if I was picture me as a white man, not own the movie theater, and they playing the Bob Marley movie. And let's say a motherfucker just having to walk in there with like, yo, Bob Marley movie, man, come on, man, you gotta let me smoke my shit, Bob Marley. I'll be like, you know what? Smoke. I don't even have to smoke. It'll just be smoke. Bob Marley movie. It's a roster movie. Why can't everybody go in there and smoke? That should be the one thing. Yeah, that should be the one reason they take down the smoking signs. We're gonna ignore the fact that everybody else paid money for their seats and shit. It shouldn't have to be. Oh shit. Morals, people. Don't let people just because as much as funny as that would be. I probably wouldn't because hell, motherfuckers who But then again, I probably would have had. You know how most movie theaters have like two different theaters, right? They have one screen. They have one screen over. They have one screen on this side of the movie theater, and one playing one movie, and another one on this side of the movie theater playing another movie. Hell, they can just play both, and both of them, one for being for smokers, one for being for non-smoking. Problem solved. I don't even know how the fuck I got in on that. I guess I probably should have made this a quick black chat because really there's I didn't really mean to go into in depth, and there's not really much in depth you can go into this movie. I mean, it's a good damn movie. It's a pretty good movie. I don't see how everybody's upset because they didn't get Bob's grandson to play him. Okay, but do they think about this? Can Bob Marley's grandson act? Yes, he sounds like Bob. Yes, he sounds like Bob. Yes, he looks like Bob. But hell, what grandson are they talking about? Are they talking about what's his name? YG Marley? YG Marley? If that's his name, I hope I'm saying his name right. Cause if that's what they talking about, because they would have to they'd have to put another drag wig on him too. They have to put a drag. I don't think he does. He have locks? I don't remember seeing him with locks. Last time I saw him, he had like last time I saw a picture of him, he had like a baseball cap or something else. So I don't know if he had his locks tied in the back and like he had it fitted on or some shit like that. Like Damon be doing sometimes, but off the rip, they would have to put a drag wig on him too, and I don't think nobody would want that. If Bob Marley was my grandfather and I didn't have locks and I was gonna play him in a movie, I wouldn't want to play him in a movie because I'm not gonna perpetrate fake locks. That's a no. The guy who's playing the role is not Rasta. He's an actor. That's what he's supposed. It's not that big of a deal. And actually, I've seen a lot of fake locks. Those actually look almost fucking real. That's the best set of fake locks I've ever fucking seen in life. How did they get these motherfuckers to actually look freeform? You gotta give credit to the motherfuckers. I hate with a passion. But you gotta admit the dude who did that for the actor who played Bob Marley, whoever was behind makeup and did that shit, they did that shit. But back to the point. Can any of the relatives that they wanted Bob that they wanted to play Bob in the movie, can they act? Could they find another Jamaican that could actually portray Bob the way that they wanted him to portray him? I mean, when I look at clips about them making the movie, like previews and stuff, when they're like doing trailers and stuff, and like talk, and you see like Ziggy and them talking in the back, talking like behind the scenes and shit like that. I'm not gonna sit here and say they search hard. They search very hard, but they liked who they liked. All right, they're the ones spending the fucking money. Y'all didn't like the shit. Go pull some fucking money out. Go pull some money out. The movie won't bad, and the dude did an okay job. He made a passable movie, Bob. Like like how everybody else who plays Malcolm X makes a passable Malcolm X. Like in Godfather that series that TV series Godfather Harlem. The dude who played Malcolm X was passable, completely passable as Malcolm X. The dude who played Malcolm X in Will Smith and when Will Smith played Muhammad Ali, he was passable. All of them were passable to play Malcolm X. They didn't even have a lot of big roles in there, but they were passable enough to get by to the point that nobody should have had a problem with it. Like, and I think this dude was passable enough that nobody should have a problem with it. There's no way they was gonna be able to make him Bob. Y'all wanted Bob. A lot of y'all just wanted to see Bob again on TV. So y'all want an actor who was just gonna go ahead and do it. If I was alive during the time that Malcolm X was alive, then I saw a Malcolm X movie, I'd probably feel the same. I'd probably feel the same way about Denzel. Denzel did a damn good job. But for me growing up on that, he was Malcolm X to me. But if I would have seen it as an adult, yeah, I would have felt like this. He did a good job. He did a damn good job. He did a damn good job playing Bob. Well, I guess that's about it, y'all. I ran my mouth right quick, posted up. Not the most exciting show, and not the most exciting review, but those are my thoughts. I really don't have a problem with the movie. A lot of people have a problem with the movie, but I don't see no roster having a problem with the movie. Well, there was a Jamaican woman who had a problem with the movie, and she went the fuck off. She went the fuck off. I only seen like cuts of the shit. I'm saying like cut. I'm like you go through shorts. That's what short, not cuts, shorts. I've only seen shorts of it, and this girl was going the fuck off. Talking you couldn't find nobody. Well, what were they good fucking at? What could they portray Bob the way they wanted him to? Remember, this is their father. This is their father they're dealing with. What you seen in the documentary cannot compare to who they lived with, who they've been around. You know what I'm saying? So if Ziggy picked somebody, so if the family picked somebody to play Bob, and it turned out to be a British dude, and he does a decent job, I'm not gonna be mad with the family. They did enough. And if anybody asks, no, I'm not just saying this just because I still feel a little bad about the Scott Pass thing. I didn't know the motherfuckers weren't doing nothing on that land. I didn't know the motherfuckers weren't doing nothing with the land. I mean, hell, someone give me land. Someone give me land. All that fucking acres of land, man. We building something. Something's going to be there other than just some weird tabernacle. I still don't like the way they handled it though. Roster business should be handled by rosters. Shit, elder to that community. Where's the elder to that fucking community? Why isn't he pushing no motherfuckers? As a matter of fact, where's his elder? I'm pretty sure not every leader of a community is old, is ancient, it's like an ancient. You know what I'm saying? Every group leader in roster I'm pretty sure it's not an ancient. You know what I'm saying? They're not all gray and under. There's some in their 40s and 50s and shit like that. That means their elders are still alive. That means their elders may be still alive. Check that mother. Go. Why don't you go to him? Go to elder and stuff because the way I see it, if I'm doing something wrong and someone asks, and someone says they don't want, and they want to check, they want to come at me a certain way. They want to come at me a certain way with respect. So, and coming through me, we got business as rosters. We got business, and I am just not coming, and I am just not from, and I am just bad and all whatnot, and I'm being uncooperative and blah blah blah, and not crap, and I'm fucking up. I am completely fucking up. Just like how motherfuckers call your parents, call your damn elder, call his elder. And if he respect, and if roster the way, and if roster is the way it should, if roster is what it is, the fact that his elder coming to chastise, his elder coming down to chastise him and correct and coming is his elder should be the one who should be able to come down here and correct his fucking behavior, and he follows suit. How Pharaoh said, rank and file. He's a higher rank, so you file in. But we don't have that no more. So they had to go through the white man. They had to go through the white man. They felt like they had to go through the white man. That's they mom. The kids they didn't want to go through all the bullshit. They went to the white man just to be done with it. Fuck it. I can't be too mad about that decision because that's the stress that they were that the people of Scott Palace were putting on their mother. I don't care. I don't care who roster is roster. I love all my brethren. Those of you are under the banner, fucking love you. But I'll tell you this now: you're not gonna bring You're not gonna bring any kind of discomfort to my mother. And as a roster, as rosters, we all should understand that they did what they did because that was their mother, and they wanted to get the situation done with. To not bring any stress to their mother. You don't fuck with people. Parents, shit happens. That's what the fuck happened. They got kicked the fuck out. In the most stream and abrupt and quick and simple, clean and simple. They just cleaned them up. They had them up. They did that shit, and I'm not even sure how the shit played out. I need to reveal about how all that shit actually worked out. Are they still there? Did they come to an agree? Did they come to some kind of agreement? Are they able to still live there? I mean, did they come to some kind of path? Are they paying rent now to the Marleys? I mean, I want to know what's going on. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna wrap it up with that. As y'all can see, it's pretty early. I worked last night. This blunt probably about to put me on my ass. I still haven't eaten anything. So I'm about worn out, and I guess I'm running out, and I'm running out of games, and I'm running out of things to talk about, probably from lack of wind. So the next video I'm gonna do, look forward to. Well, I'm gonna try. I really am trying to be better, y'all. I know y'all sick of hearing that, but I'm trying to do better. You know, I promise I am gonna try to do, and I am gonna do better about my update. I'm not really sure what the next show, what the next update about, but I'm trying to get more everyday people on the show. I want regular black people on the show. You know, about grievances they have and shit. Then again, and then there's a lot of people at my job. When I be doing that break thing, I go to other people's cars, and then we chill out for a hot minute. And you know, they'll have questions about Rastafari. I might just make a segment about that. Why I just answer questions. Why I just answer questions about Rastafari through my answer. Or maybe or shit. I might put a poll on Facebook. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a poll on Facebook. What questions do y'all want? What questions about Rastafari would y'all like to know? And I'll answer to the best of my ability. Until then, y'all, peace, prosperity, Salafia.